What's up guys, Bua Davis here. Today I want to teach you how you can make PowerUp system in Unity. We will discuss how you can implement that in your game, how you can change different stats of your player, and as usual I will make everything as simple as possible. So if you like my content and want to see more videos like this, please like this one and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get started, and as you see I have player which is capsule, a simple capsule with a movement script attached. And first thing that we need to do, we need some kind of object which will act like our power up. Now obviously we can make some kind of 3D object, for example sphere, and it will work just fine. But I have into my project these power up models, and I leave link to it in the description. It's free pack from the Unity's asset store, and if you open prefabs you will see this prefabs that you can use. For example, I want to use this red one, and where it is, let's position it a little bit better. And if you are using same as me, just open this prefab in the hierarchy, and I don't need this power up and inner power up. I only need this health. Let's click on the F to zoom in and position it just in front of our player to easily pick up our power up. Okay, it looks fine. And one more thing into our health that we can do, and we should add component, because it doesn't have any collider right now, as you see. We can do add component, and in the search box let's type for the sphere collider, and let's make radius of collider bigger. We need this collider in order to actually collide with our player, and we need to tick is trigger here, otherwise our system will not work. And I will make sure to be just in front of my player. Okay, it looks fine. Anyway, you can use basically any game object, just add some kind of collider and tick is trigger there. And now let's create script of our PowerUp system. So in the assets folder on the empty space, let's hit create C# script. I already have this empty script. I named it PowerUp. You can name it anything you want. Just make sure to attach it into your game object. In our case, we will attach it here on the health. And let's double click to open in Visual Studio. First thing that we can do, we should delete this start and update because we don't need it. Instead, we're gonna use on trigger enter. Just type on trigger enter, find it and click enter, and Unity will auto compile. And here we can say that if other dot compare tag, and in parentheses and quotation marks we can say player with capital P. It means that when something with the tag of player will trigger our PowerUp game object, we want to do something. So for now, let's say level up. And as you see, level up has a red line because Unity doesn't know what is this level up just yet. So let's create a function of level up, void level up, and open close curly brackets. And here for now, let's say debug.log, and in quotation marks you can say that power up is peaked or something like that. It doesn't really matter. It's just for the testing purposes to see if everything works fine. So let's save the script. Click on the Control S or Command S if you are on Mac, and let's go back in Unity. Let your script compile, and after we should do a few things first. First, let's select your player, and as you remember, we need this tag of player into our player. So let's select our player, and in the inspector you will see this tag. Now it's set to untagged, but if we scroll down, it has this player tag. So let's assign this tag to your player. And in the health, we don't need to change anything actually. So let's start playing and see if everything is working. And when we picked up PowerUp, obviously nothing is happening just yet, but if we go in the console window, you will see this message of debug.log that PowerUp is picked. So it means that everything is working. Now we can create some kind of effect when we pick up PowerUp. It will be more fancy way. And to do it, we need to reference to our effect. So we can say public game object, and let's call it PowerUp effect. And here we don't need this debug.log. We can delete it. Instead, we're gonna use instantiate, and this instantiate is just how we can create some kind of game object into our world, into our scene. And it needs few parameters in order to work. First, we need to say what we're gonna instantiate. We want to instantiate our PowerUp effect. We are gonna do it. We're gonna do it in the our object's position. So we can say transform.position, and for the rotation, we can do same transform.rotation. And after we want to destroy our game object. After we picked up our PowerUp, we don't need it to be seen into our game anymore. And we can do same. We can do this simple way, destroy game object. So let's go back, and first thing that we need to create is our effect. Now you can use any kind of particle system that you want. I suggest you to download the Unity particles from the asset store. There are a few packs which are free, and you can play around with them. For example, one of them will look like this. And if you want, I will leave the link in the description to few of them, and play around with any of them, and you will get to nice effect. I will just use this random one, this effect of the particle system, just to showcase what you can do. I don't need it from into my hierarchy, so I will delete it. I only need this prefab. So let's select our health. We have our script, and you see this empty slot of PowerUp effects. So let's drag our effect there, and let's press play and see if our effect is playing. And let's pick it up, and when we picked up, as you see, we have this effect. Obviously you can make better effect than me. I just don't want to spend much time on this effect, but this is simple way how you can make some kind of effect. Now effect is working, but when we picked up, our player is not doing anything. And for example, we can make our player bigger when we pick up our PowerUp. And to do it, first select your player, and he has this transform component, as you see, which has the scale element, and the scale element is just sizing of our player. And if we, for example, multiply this to 1.5 or something like that and hit enter, as you see, our player got bigger. So what we can do, we can multiply all of the axes to some kind of amount of number, and when we pick up our PowerUp, obviously, and it will make our player bigger. So let's go back in Unity and let's think. First of all, we need to reference some kind of amount which we're gonna multiply our player. So let's say that we want to public float amount, and it will be 1.5. In my case, you can obviously change this number from the inspector later, however you want. But first, we should to be able to use our reference to our player here on the level of function. Here on the on trigger enter, we are using player reference, which is other in our case. And what we can do, we can say here, we can use arguments and say here collider player. Here on the level up, we can pass other, so everything will work fine. Now we can go here and use our player dot transform dot local scale, and times equals to some kind of amount. And this is just short way to say that this player local scale equals to local scale times amount, which means that when we pick up our PowerUp, all these scales of X, Y, and Z will be multiplied by 1.5. And let's save the script and let's see actually how it's working. And then we will continue about different topic. And let's press play and see if everything working. And let's pick up our power up. And as you see, our player got bigger. Amazing. That's how you can change your size of your player. But what if you want to change some stats from the different script? For example, I have this different script attached to my player, which is player health. It only has one variable right now, public float health. Obviously, it's not doing anything, but it's stat that technically we can change. And if we go in the PowerUp script back, we need somehow to reference our player health script in order to use this health element from there. And to do it, we can say that player dot get component, and the component name should be script name, in our case player health. So let's say player health. Don't forget parentheses and semicolon. After, we can store information about this script into some kind of object. So we can say player health, again, name of your script, and let's name it stats equals to this. And now we can use the stats, which has the information about this script. And if we say stats dot health, you see that we can use this health variable now from different script, which is cool. And let's say times equals to something like, okay, let's use amount once again. And it means that when we pick up our power up, our health will be increased, will be multiplied to 1.5 and will become 150. So let's go back in Unity. Let's save your script, let it compile, and let's see. If we press play right now, let's see what will happen. And I forgot to make sure that we see our health. So let's select our player. Okay. When we start playing, as you see, our health is 100. And when we pick up our power up, it's 150. Yes, everything is working, which is fine. Now, one more thing that you can do. For example, if you don't want your health to be forever increased and you only want to have some time, for example, if you want to have some kind of buff which is only working for a few seconds, and then every stat will go back to what it was in the original state, we can say here that stats dot health is times equals to amount. And it means that our health will become back to original, but we want to have some kind of wait time here. And to have wait time, we need special method with the name of with the name of coroutine. And if you are watching my videos, you know how coroutines work. Basically, it's special method which allows us to have some kind of wait time and delay time and all of the things. And to do it, we need to change syntax a little bit. We don't need this function to be void. Instead, we want to have enumerator here, which is the way how your coroutine will work. Enumerator level up, and here we can say when we increase our health by 150 and it becomes 150, we can say yield return new wait for second, which means that we will have some kind of wait time, for example 2 seconds or 3 seconds or any kind of amount you want, or you can create here public floats for wait time, and you can have it to something like 2 seconds, 2f, and here we can pass this wait time. It will be just easier to change this wait time from the inspector later. And to do it, we can also say here that we want to start coroutine, we want parentheses, and now everything will work. And when we pick up our power up, our health will be increased, but after 2 seconds it will go back to what it was. Let's make it 3 seconds so we can easily see it. And let's go back in Unity, let your script compile and see if everything will work. Okay, here is our health, which is 100. Let's start playing. And let's pick up our power up. It's 150, but after 3 seconds in, it's 100. But there might be one problem. For example, when we pick our power up, this power up is still here for the 3 seconds and we don't want it. So what we can do, we can go back here, and when we multiply this health by some amount, before we wait for some seconds before we are running this, we can say get component. We can basically hide the object, the power up object, from the scene. So to do it, we can say power get component. Component name is mesh renderer, because if we select your health, as you see, it has this mesh renderer, and if we hide it from the game, as you see, it will disappear. So we will do same from here. Mesh renderer, don't forget parentheses, dot enabled is false, equals to false. And we can also say get component collider. We want to disable its collider to dot enabled equals false. And if we save our script, now when we pick up our power up object will be hide from the inspector. Then we will have these 3 seconds of wait time, and our start will become to its original point. Now you don't have to do it. I'm just telling you this to show you what opportunities you have, so you can play around with them. And now when we pick up our power up, as you see, it will disappear immediately. It will hide from our game. So that's it. That's how you can create this simple, easy power up system in Unity. If you have any questions, please leave them, your questions in the comments down below. And if you like my content and want to see more videos like this, please like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the notification bell not to miss any new upcoming videos. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.